Hi everybody, I'm Serge K. Kilembi and thanks for joining me for the weekly US market reports. Time to trade the markets, the week ahead, perspectives and analysis. This is for the trading week beginning on Monday, October the 9th until Friday, October the 13th. And first, we're going to have a look at the economic calendar. Second, we're going to have a look at earnings. And third point, we're going to have a look at some news. And the fourth point is going to go directly to the markets. We're going to have a look at the S&P 500 sectors maps and also the ETFs and all these sectors in different industries and different ETFs by asset classes. And then we're going to take a look at charts. We're going to do some technical analysis and some price action, and at the end of the broadcast we're gonna have a look at some of my services and how you guys can contact me. Okay, so without further ado, let's begin. Let's jump right into it. And first of all, let's begin over here with the economic calendar, major countries, but we're gonna go directly to the major news and major data release, great impact. First of all, you see over here on Tuesday, October the 10th, here at Australia, NAB business confidence for September. Second, in Germany, a balance of trade from August, still in a surplus, so the exports are good for Germany. Over here at 10:30 a.m. in Great Britain, we have the balance of trade from August, as you can see over here, still in a deficit for Great Britain. And next on Wednesday, October the 11th, back in Australia for the Westpac Consumer Confidence Index for October. And also we stay in Australia for the Westpac Consumer Confidence change from October. And back to the US, we have the FOMC minutes, that's the Federal Open Markets Committee minutes. So let's see what will take place and what would be the issue discussed at the FOMC minutes. Okay, so that's it for the economic calendar. Next, let's have a look at earnings. You know that we are in earnings season, and right now let's have a look at big impact companies. We're going to release earnings, or publish earnings for this week, starting on Monday, October the 9th until Friday the 13th. First of all, what do we have? We have Bristol Myers Squibb over here. We have on the 10th, we have Barracuda Networks. 11th, we have BlackRock, CSX, Delta Airlines. October the 12th, we have Citigroup, Club, JP Morgan Chase, very big announcement for the Q3. And on Friday, October the 13th, we have a Bank of America, PNC, and Wells Fargo. We're beginning strong with the financials. Okay, so that's it for earnings. So second, please, I'm gonna take notes over here because I'm looking at BlackRock for this week. Next, what do we have? Citigroup. Next, JP Morgan Chase and Bank of America and Wells Fargo. Okay, all the companies I have in my portfolio, companies that I'm watching, that I'm trading. So that's it. I'm taking my notes, so I won't forget that. Okay. Next, now let's have a look at the S&P 500 sectors map on a weekly performance. Let's see. Technology, great week for technology, except for AT&T and Verizon. Next, services, great week for services, except here for Comcast, as you can see. Here, Viacom. Over here, Costco and Target. Over here, Walgreens, Boots Alliance, bad week for them. Bad week for UPS and FedEx. Bad week also for McKesson Corporation, Cardinal Health, and AmerisourceBergen Corporation. Bad week for Union Pacific Corporation, for CSX Corporation, and Norfolk Southern Corporation, and Kansas City Southern. Basic materials, bad week for the sector. Healthcare, great week for the healthcare, except for Amgen Incorporated, Celgene Corporations, and over here in healthcare plans, bad week for CVS Health Corporation and also for Express Scripts Holding Company. Okay, next, utilities. Good week for utilities. Industrial goods. Good week for industrial goods. Over here, consumer goods. Bad week for PepsiCo. Bad week over here for Kimberly-Clark Corporation. Bad week in the processed and packaged food goods for General Mills. And also bad week in the cigarettes industry. Bad week for Altria Group Incorporated. Next, financials. Great week for the financials overall. So that's it. So you know what it is. This is a new record high for the S&P 500, Dow Jones, Nasdaq, and you name it. Okay, next, let's have a look over here at the ETF, exchange traded funds. What do we have? The indices, everything green. Next, the large cap in green, mid cap in green, small cap in green, the volatility in red, so the inverse is in green, so everything it's perfect. The sectors, everything in green except over here for energy and consumer non-cyclicals. Okay. Next, international, everything, bueno, it's flat and bad for Europe due to the Spanish crisis and also the Brexit. China in green and the rest of the world in green. Brazil in green, Asia Pacific in green, emerging markets in green. LATAM, bad week for LATAM. Russia, bad week. India in green. And over here, the global miners, everything in green except the dust and the GST. It's perfect. Next, energy in reds. You see over here. Commodities, GLD and SLV are flat. USO crude oil in green, in red, excuse me. Next, over here, fixed income, and you see corporate bonds in red and US government in red. So money is leaving the fixed income markets and entering heavily in the risk and on the risk assets, so in the stock markets. Okay, so that's it. Next, let's move on. So that's it for the markets. And over here, let's have a look at some news to see what's in the news and what we can see. Markets now. You see over here, Snap. They're talking about Snap. After the IPO, maybe we can go higher. Here, a former Goldman Sachs VP who founded a crypto hedge fund says betting on Bitcoin is like betting on the internet in the 90s. Over here, one chart shows why shareholders are so happy about Netflix price increase. So Netflix over here. So Bitcoin, Netflix, Snap. Over here, what do we have? Stocks. You see best performing and worst performers. Over here, Elon Musk and the famous Model 3. So we have a news about Tesla. Over here, the dollar, the US dollar. So we're gonna have a look at that. And remember, the job reports came out on last Friday, and you see they're talking about that. Over here, commodities. Here, what do we have? Energy shares plunges as Theresa May announces price cap plans. So you see energy, bad week for oil. So we have oil over here. Oil could be hit hard by three major geopolitical risks that may be coming to a head in October. So risk in the the oil industry. Next, currencies. You see the currencies over here. Bitcoin, Ethereum, crypto doing great. Bitcoin back above the $4,500. Next, infighting is causing a bloodbath for the pound, the Grand British pounds over here. The dollar is sliding. Another news about the US dollar. And here, Lloyd Blankfein, CEO of Goldman Sachs, talking about cryptos and Bitcoin in particular. Over here, the fixed income, bonds, and rates. Over here, you see bond prices, you see the yields going up. That means that the bond prices are going down. And next, overall geopolitical risk you see in Europe over here. Political risk, major Spanish banks are thinking about abandoning Catalonia over independence tensions. You already saw some banks moving from Catalonia and going to Alicante and places like that. Banks like Caixa, Sabadell, and other corporations also leaving Catalonia and resettle elsewhere in Spain. Over here, Trump's pick to oversee Wall Street regulation after the Fed was just confirmed by Senate. And over here, this brutal table spells bad news for Wall Street banks, Goldman Sachs, JP Morgan, and Morgan Stanley over here. So that's it here at Market Insiders, and over here at Market Watch. Let's see, what do we have in over here? Yes, you see some news full of crap. Tesla, Costco earnings, Spain. Over here, Tesla. You see, one more Tesla. We're just looking for buzzwords. You see, so we know where we're gonna have some movements. You see, volatility, great catalyst, and stuff like that. You see, Puerto Rico over here, the stock market in general. Over here, the dollar. Remember the dollar. A lot of talk about the dollar. So for you guys who are trading forex and stuff like that, and also this is heavily related to the bond market and the stock market also. And boom, you see investing. Wow. One more time, Tesla. So have a great look on Tesla. Over here, Google announced at its Pixel events. Okay, so Google over here, new IPO, switch IPO, stock soars more than 20% on the first day of trading. And here, this $1 billion dry eye drug is behind Allergan's controversial patent deal. So AGN. And that's it for the news. So remember, oil, bonds, dollar, Bitcoin, Tesla, Google, and yeah, that's it. Yeah, that's it. Okay, and on other companies, yeah, also the banks, and yeah, as always, the FANGs stocks. Okay, so now let's go, and first we're gonna begin with, as always, first of all, gonna begin with the stock markets, and at the end, you're gonna do cryptos. So next, gonna have a look at the crypto performance and stuff like that. Okay, let's begin with the stock markets. So please, okay, there we go. Okay, so now, first of all, let's begin as always with the Dow Jones Industrial Average over here. Boom. Okay, now, as you can see, you already see this great bullish candle. So very bullish. Remember, our target was the 23,000. Now we are at 22,773 points. So what to expect for next week? Continuation, earnings season. Everybody is feeling great about the stock markets. Money is leaving the bond market, entering the stock market. So that's it. So me, when I have the you see here a power candle, you see over here, that's the same thing, another power candle. So with only we are just about 200 points, 227 points. And then boom, we're gonna reach Dow 23K. Okay, so that's it. So next week, continuation for the Dow Jones Industrial Average, still going higher. Next, let's move on directly with the NDX. NDX, that's your Nasdaq 100. Nasdaq 100. What do we have over here? Exactly the same thing. Bullish. We are very bullish on the stock markets these days, and just take a look. Bam, here we go. Now we have a close above the 6,000 points. Now we are at 6,064 points. I see a continuation towards the 6,100 points for the Nasdaq 100. Nothing to say. We remain bullish on the stock markets, and principally on the all the tech stocks. You see the FANGs and and biotech stocks and stuff like that. So we are bullish on the NDX Nasdaq 100. Next, the S&P 500. Okay, over here, S&P 500. We already saw the sectors map. Everything was green, so over here bullish. See, that simple. You see perfectly the A, B, C, D now over here. So that's it now. Closer, we are at 25.50. So next target is 25.60. So that's 10 points. You see for the S&P 500. You see here a lot of extension, far away for the 4 weeks from the 4 weeks moving average. So maybe we're gonna go higher, but with low volume, but we remain bullish. You see, earnings season, we remain bullish in on the stock market. So people are gonna play and gonna speculate on. They're gonna push the S&P, all the risk assets higher. They're gonna allocate their money in the stock market. So S&P 500 bullish. Okay, so we remain bullish over here. That's it. So now let's have a look at the VIX volatility index. Okay, VIX. Here we go. What's happening with the VIX, the volatility index? You see the VIX still at the lows between 9 and 10, always remaining. We remain below the 4 weeks moving average. Now what do we have? Conversions here with the 4 weeks moving average crossing below the 26-week moving average. In red, that's your 13 weeks moving average, and over here that's your 21 weeks moving average. So the 8 weeks moving average is going after your 8 weeks moving average. So what to expect? You see that doji over here. I'm expecting sideways movement, but once that move is completed, I'm gonna look for a spike in the VIX. So maybe we're gonna have a bullish candle with a closing above bullish candle. So a green candle close with a close above the 4 weeks moving average over here. So that means after 1 or 2 weeks we're gonna have a lot of volatility over here. So be cautious. The stock market is still going higher, but at any time we can have and see a volatility kicking in. Okay, so now let's have a look at the XIV over here. Okay, that's your XIV, and XIV is looking bullish, so we remain bullish with the XIV. And now we are at 102.76. So my targets, you see that's a strong bullish candle. So target is 105. You see over here 105. Yeah, for next week 105, maybe 107, 105, 107. That's my target for next week. So I'm gonna place it over here. You see 105, 105, yeah, 105.50, something like that. You see for the XIV. Okay, so that's the my target for next week, like that. Okay, this one is already already gone, and over here from the resistance, bam, going higher. Okay, so that's it. Everything is bullish, so we remain bullish. That's it for the XIV continuation. And now let's have a look at the Russell 2000. So Hersher, yeah, I don't know over here. Russell 213. Okay, Russell 2000. Let's have a look at small caps, and over here what do we have? You see small caps, you see boom, also bullish over here, very bullish. You see we had a continuation. Now we have a low volume over here, but take a look, more than a month, yeah, like 2 months. You see since end of August, boom, all the through September, very bullish, and now we are here maybe taking some kind of sideways movements. We're gonna look for interaction with the 4 weeks moving average. You see that's the 50% of that great bullish candle over here. You see, boom, over here, pops, here. Okay, that's it over here at 1470. But you see a small rejection here at that particular level. Okay, here. So I'm expecting market to go sideways and trying to push a little bit more higher. But you see the targets, you see the continuation above 1500 was perfectly executed. And now you see a lot of extension. Maybe you're gonna have some type of a sideways movement, a pause, and let's see what's gonna happen next week. But we have to expect a continuation, and maybe we trying to flirt once again with the 1520 and over here 1530 maybe. Okay, 1520, 1525 for next week. Okay, that's it for your Russell 2000. And now let's have a look at the bond markets. Well, we saw the yields going higher, so now that means bond prices are going lower. Remember, last week we analyzed a great probability of seeing lower prices, and bam, that's it. You see exactly as we played. You see exactly here. You see, remember, retest of that pivot points region over here. That's the 125, and you see exactly same play. Boom, interaction with that same support level. See over here one time. See the convergence here between the 21 in blue, dark blue, and in black. That's your 26 weeks moving average. You see over here pivot point, support, and over here one more time. And see over here the doji. Right at that point, exactly what I was looking for. You see a month, an entire month going. You see top here in September, just 1 week entering the month of September, and then boom, 4 weeks to the downside, and that's it. So take a look at the 4 weeks moving average going lower. You see convergence first of all. That's over here. Remember, 104 weeks, 208 weeks, 4 weeks over here, 8 weeks, 13 weeks, and 21 weeks, 26 weeks, 52 weeks, and boom, now we are here. Convergence, that's heavy. So over here now, when I'm seeing that particular signal, that particular candlestick over here is sending us a signal. What's that signal? 1, 2, 3 times. That's a multiple bottom over here. And now I'm expecting sideways movement. So maybe that's a stop. So people are gonna take maybe some profits over here in the shorts. So maybe we're gonna have a B, C, and then another leg down. So we're trying to go lower and to break below that particular support over here. So maybe now we're gonna have some shorts coverings, and then boom. So I'm expecting to see interaction with the 4 weeks moving average. See over here coming back. And if you're above that particular level, above the 126.50, no, yeah, 126.20, and no, 126.15, boom, then we can go higher. But if we remain bearish, that the bears are in control, and we're gonna see another leg down. So that's a B, a C, a boom, and then a D. So pay close attention to that and be cautious, or expect for next week sideways movements in order to interact with all the, first of all, with the 4 weeks moving average, and then let's see what's gonna happen. But we are in bearish territory over here, you see. Now I'm expecting a pause, sideways movements, and take a look at the price action. Okay, and also watch out what's gonna happen if you see more upsides in the more record highs in the stock market. That means that people are gonna push bond prices lower, and also take a look at yields. If you see yields going higher, that means lower bonds prices. Okay, and now let's focus on the 30 years Treasury bond. Boom, boom. Oh, no, always Ursula. I don't know what's happening here, so please bear with me. Okay, here we go. That's it. Boom, and you see here exactly the same thing. You see, remember, pivots points, multiple bottom over here. And take a look. That's your 208 weeks moving average, and as we analyzed last week, exactly the same thing at the 10 years Treasury Notes. You see over here, boom, lower bonds prices. That means yields of the 30 years Treasury bonds are going up or going higher. But here we are in a critical zone, a lot of conflicts over here. That's a support 1 time, 2 times, 3 times, and over here that's a, let me zoom in. Oh, excuse me. Over here, let's see what's happening. You see over here, boom. Right now, that's the region of the 208, so that's a perfect support. I'll also take a look at the 4 weeks moving average over here. And now the 8 weeks moving average over here also going down. You see the convergence here between the 4 weeks moving average and the 52 weeks moving average. So that's pretty bearish over here. But first, I'm expecting sideways movements. You see, that's your support and that's your resistance. And that's a perfect triangle. So now maybe you can go up or we can go lower. But first of all, we need interaction with those two moving averages over here, the 4 weeks moving average and the 8 weeks moving average. So that means sideways movements. Okay, so that's it. But I'm expecting if we see higher yields and stock markets still going higher, that means lower prices. Okay. So that's it for the 30 years Treasury bonds. So now let's have a look at the Dixie. The Dixie is the DXY. That's your US dollar index. That's the US dollar against a basket of 6 currencies. And that's it. So now what can we see? We see over here, you see, remember, lower bond prices during 1 month, and over here you see the dollar rising, and also you see the bond prices, bond yields, excuse me, treasury yields and the bond yields going up, treasury note yields and treasury bonds over here going up. And you see now we have we're trying to interact with the 21 weeks moving average, and you see over here, you see the pattern, you see the pattern and the path that the price took. You see over here, first of all, break above the 4 weeks moving average. That's your 208 weeks moving average, acting as a strong support. You see over here, that particular bearish candle, 1, 2, 3 weeks, you see, to cancel that particular candle. You see, remember over here, your fluctuation, your zone, that was our critical zone over here. Now we are back up, trying to gain power and gain steam and going back higher. First of all, next step, it was the break above the 8 weeks moving average, interaction with the 13 weeks moving average, and then break above that 13 weeks moving average, and now interaction with the 21 weeks moving average. Next step, it's a close above the 21 weeks moving average and interaction with the 26 weeks moving average. And from there, you see over here a lot of spread, that spread of 95.50 towards the 97. That's $1.50 points of spreads between the 26 weeks moving average, and that's your 104 weeks moving average and your 52 weeks moving average. So maybe now the dollar is trying to go back towards 94, 94.50, even 95. So what does it mean? That means that the euro is going lower. So people are buying US dollars and selling other currencies. Okay, so remember that. Okay, now let's move on over here, the dollar, and now let's enter the commodity. And first, let's have a look at energy. Remember, we saw a lot of news talking about energy over here. So first of all, let's begin with the WTI crude oil, and you see huge sell-off, massive sell-off, massive sell-off over here. We were in another, we were uptrending. You see over here the A, the B, the C, and the D, but now boom, that's huge sell-off. You see over here we have a pointer, but boom, massive sell-off, so anything could happen. We gave back more than 50% of all the gains. You see the highs over here, the highs at $52.83 a barrel. You see over here opening the close level last week, opening at the same point, same exact point last week, 2 weeks ago, excuse me, and now last week here at 51.60, and then boom, take a look over here, massive sell-off. You see over here, boom, sell-off, boom, close below the 4 weeks moving average, and here close at the 52 weeks moving average, and that's your 8 weeks moving average at exactly $49, 49.15, excuse me. So that's it. So what to expect next week? Anything can happen, but you see here, take a look at the convergence points between the 4 weeks moving average and your 8 weeks moving average over here at 48.68. So a close below that particular region is going to be very critical, and that's going to send back all prices towards the 47 price region. Okay, take a look here at that particular support zone over here, pivot points. So if we have a continuation and a close below the 8 weeks moving average and that the 13 weeks moving average, boom, lower oil prices, and my target is $47 a barrel for the crude oil WTI. Okay, so that's it. So oil expect lower prices. Okay, so that's it for oil. Now let's have a look at precious metals, and first we're gonna begin with gold futures. Okay, gold futures here. So what to expect? Oh, seems like our analysis is our predictions are on the money. You see over here, boom, rejected the 1360, a month of lower prices. You see the dollar was going up, and over here we have gold's going down. You see the price action. You see here the interaction with the moving averages, 4 weeks moving average, 8 weeks moving average. Over here convergence, lower prices now, 4 weeks moving average trying to converge and interact with the 13 weeks moving average. You see over here close below that particular level and close below the 21 and 26 moving average, but over here you see boom, a rejection, a doji. You see, that's it. So maybe that's our support. Take a look, support region over here, and over here was a resistance, pivot point and resistance. Maybe that's another pivot point. Maybe we're gonna see that particular play. That's a profit taking, or also sell off, people flying from safe haven assets as gold and silver and entering and putting their money back into the stock market and into risk assets. So maybe here we're going to see a pivot point and gain some power. It's going to be great, but over here we need confirmation. So what to expect now? We need I'm expecting sideways movement. You see over here, that's your 52 weeks moving average over here acting as a strong support with your 104 weeks moving average. So the 12.50, now between 12.50 and 12.30 we can see gold bottoming over here. So it can go lower, but that particular doji may be a sign of support if it coincides with the last resistance over here, and now it's a support. So wait and see and wait for confirmation. So be patient over here. Okay, so that's it for gold. Indecision, doji, maybe lower prices, but wait and see first. Higher probabilities of sideways movements. Okay, so that's it for gold. And now let's go and let's have a look at silver futures. And what's happening with silver? Silver exactly the same thing, but here we have one surprise. Our surprise is a doji, okay, but that's a bullish doji over here at that particular zone. You see, still uptrending because that's a low, and that's a higher low over here, and you see convergence, strong convergence with all the moving averages. That's your 4 104. In black we have your 26-week moving average. Now in blue, dark blue, that's your 8 weeks moving average. In red, that's your 13 weeks moving average. So now we're expecting, I'm expecting sideways movement between 1690 and 1660. And next, if it's bullish, if that's a good morning pattern, I'm expecting a close above the 4 weeks moving average. So wait and see, wait for the interaction with that particular moving average, and then you see we can come here. That's a perfect V. So that's a B, a C, and then a D, going back towards the $18. Okay, so first of all, wait for confirmation over here, and a green candle, a bullish candle, close above the 4 weeks moving average and also above that particular trend line over here in red. Okay, because that's the sell side, and here over here that's your buy side. Okay, so wait for confirmation. So now that's it for precious metals and commodities. So now let's go and let's take a look at cryptocurrencies. Okay, first let's introduce our crypto map. 7-day performance, all coin, all market cap, or cryptocurrency market cap, $152 billion now. Volume in 24 hours, that's close to 3 billion. And you see the bigger coin, Bitcoin over here, Bitcoin Cash. You have Steam over here. Next, in ETH Ash over here, you have Ethereum and Ethereum Classic. X11, what do we have? We have Dash and BitConnect over here, the tokens. We have Omisego over here. What else? We have Kitium over here. We have that's Monero over here. That's NEM over here. Scripts, we have Litecoin over here. And what else? And here we have Ripple, Neo, and IOTA, and also Zcash. Okay, so that's it. You see the big market caps over here. So now let's take it out, and now let's focus on the top 10 and the ranking. You see over here Bitcoin now at close to 4,600, a high at 46, close to 4620, and you see we are uptrending. Market cap moving above 70 billion, and we are back at 76 billion. So it seems to me we are going back to $5,000 for Bitcoin. Number 2, Ripple also uptrending, you see over here. Number 3, Ethereum uptrending also. Bitcoin Cash going down. Litecoin uptrending, more in sideways movement but going up. Finally, Neo in a sideways movement. Kitium also sideways movements. Ethereum number 8 in a downtrend. Zcash sideways movement but pointing down, and Dash sideways movement, and Monero also in a sideways movement. But it seems to me that the top 3, Litecoin, Ethereum, Ripple, and Bitcoin, are moving higher. So now let's analyze this. Let's take a look at that over here with technical analysis and price action. First of all, let's begin with Bitcoin. And over here, Bitcoin, you see that's playing out. So that's definitely our support over here. So we are going for another A, B, C, and a D, much higher. Okay, so that's its low. So let's do some projections over here. So I'm gonna begin from the accumulation zone. I'm gonna go here. Now I'm gonna take this and this. I'm gonna do this, and now let's see. So that puts the Bitcoin at $6,200 per Bitcoin. Okay, so that's my projection. Okay, over here. Okay, Now take a look. We are at a very critical level. You see that level I pointed out last week, the red dotted arrow over here line. You see over here at 46. At 4600. No, that's your 4600 with me. I pointed out over here that particular zone. That's your 4600. Above 4600, boom, we are going back. You see the pointer, now it's playing. We're going back towards $5,000, and above $5,000 we're going straight towards $6,200. So that's $6,200 per Bitcoin in the near future, and we're gonna see that particular price before the end of the year, maybe mid-November. So remember, we're gonna have another fork, another whatever is coming, but me, I'm speculative, so I don't care. I'm just here for the price action. So if the price fluctuates and going higher, I'm gonna be ready. I have to be ready, and I got to be ready and take advantage of that. So remember, Bitcoin is going higher, but first we need to close above that particular level, going back towards 4,800 and then $5,000. Okay, so that's it. Bitcoin, expect more moves towards the going up for Bitcoin. Now Ethereum, ETH, Ethereum over here, Ethereum going nowhere, but you see here bullish flag. We see here, boom, the flag. You see first distribution, accumulation over here, boom, another distribution, but we have a triangle, an ascending triangle. So I'm expecting to go up. You see we had over here a inside week candle pattern for 2 weeks, then 1 week, but very shy, no volume, no nothing. And now we are entering that particular zone, so we need to be above $325. But you see pretty weak volume, no steam, no power, no decision, no conviction, so we can do nothing with that. We need a strong bullish candle to break above that particular trend line over here. You see, that's our triangle. You see, from here I can go first of all towards 350, 375, and 425. So I'm expecting first of all we need a close above 355. So Ethereum, no power, we need decision candles. Okay, next let's move on. Ethereum, now let's have a look at Litecoin, LTC USD. So Litecoin versus the US dollar. Okay, over here, Litecoin versus the US dollar. Over here you see stairs pattern over here, very bullish. You see inside week candle, 1 2 3 4 5 6 week in a row. Another inside week candle here, 1 2 weeks, but you see all moving averages are here. Interaction with the 4 and with the 4, 8, and 13 weeks moving average. You see a huge pointer over here. We can go lower. We are still below the 50% mark of that particular bearish candle over here. Including below the third part of the body of that bearish candle. So that's very bearish for me, because it seems we don't reverse that particular trend. So maybe that's a B, a C, and another, we can see another leg down over here. But first of all, we remain bullish because of what all the moving averages over here are acting as a support. But be cautious, because if you have a close below 21 and 26 week, take a look, 52 is over here, and that's a lot of volatility. And if the pointer enters and start to play out, so you can see move towards the downside. So that's a B, a C, a boom, and a D. And by that time you can see the 52 weeks moving average being here in 2 or 3 weeks by November. So if we continue to go lower, the target can pretty much, it seems to be $35. Okay, see over here, $35. Okay, so that's it. So Litecoin, no direction, no steam, no nothing. So we need confirmation, we need a direction. Okay, next let's have a look at Dash. I'm gonna do Dash. Next we're gonna do Ripple, and finish up with IOTA. So Dash versus the US dollar over here. And okay, Dash, it's pretty much the same thing. We are uptrending. You see over here, but I was trying to, with the data we have available over here, trying to make sense of that. But you see, if I trace a channel, you see, with those 2 points over here, that gives me a trend. You see, we're uptrending, so that's our supports, our resistance, and you see that played perfectly. You see 1 point, support, resistance, and over here that's our support region. And you see also now we are below the 4 weeks and 8 weeks moving average. You see the 50% of that particular candle, we are below that. You see over here the pointer and also rejection points over here, but it didn't play out. Boom, still in the inside big candle, but that's a triangle. You see, perfect triangle, and over here, boom, we choose one side and we chose the downside. So now I'm expecting prices to drop and to interacts and to go in the direction of the 13 weeks moving average. So the price is going south for Dash, and Dash is going to reach 275. Okay, and you see over here that's the beginning of the 21 weeks moving average. You see, so pay close attention. So 275 and 250 for Dash if it remains bearish. Okay, so Dash going lower, first of all, towards the channel's supports over here. Dash is done. So now let's have a look at Ripple, XRP, USD, and Ripple is great. Great bullish candle. You see, that's magnifico, as we said in Spanish. You see now we are uptrending. You see over here that's our bottom. You see now, boom, uptrending, and boom, it seems to me that we reached the first target, and the target is 28th. And now yeah, that's bullish, that's great. So what else can I say? I'm expecting more moves towards the upside, and another target will be over here. I'm expecting the price to reach 30 over here. Boom, that's it, and bam, like that. Okay, so now continuation, and you see the pointer is playing out very perfectly. So now I'm expecting move to go up and to gain 3 cents from points 27 towards points 30. Okay, so that's it. Ripple bullish. And finally, let's finish with IOTA. IOTA versus the US dollar. IOTA USD, yeah, that's it. Okay, perfect. Bitfinex. Okay, so over here you see, well, with the data we have available, beginning from here, supports, and here resistance. So 1 point, 2 points. Let's say that's our low, and here another higher low, and that's our high, and boom, you see the retracement, correction. I was expecting to see that. You see over here top, you see tweezer bottom over here, so that's our support, and it seems to me we are downtrending. That's a B, a C, and boom, we can go much lower, and trying to look for a D, but it's wow, it's pretty wow, because if it continues like that, we're gonna see IOTA going towards 25. And if I take the particular projection over here, that's a 50 cents drop, so another 50-cent drop from 62 minus 50, that's 12 cents. But for the moment my target maybe it's 35, but let's see what's gonna happen. But take a look, we are that particular bullish candle cancelled by this one, by this bearish candle over here, so that's a bullish reversal, that's a bearish reversal, excuse me, bearish reversal. That, so this one cancelled that one, and now we are here below 53, below the 4 weeks moving average, and pointing lower. We have 2 pointers or 2 pointers over here, and also take a look, 50% of that particular candle, boom, now we're going lower. So target 37. First of all, we'll round a round number, that's 40.40 cents, 0.40 dollars, so 40 cents. So that's it, first target. Okay, that's it for IOTA. Okay, so people, thank you very much. So now I'm gonna leave you with my website. You see over here, www.jctream.com. Click on the English banner for your English speaking people, and you're gonna see all the services I have. I am an intermediary, I'm a commissioner, I'm an agent of a lot of institutions. I'm an IB. I'm also working in precious metals. You see, I have entries, and I'm an intermediary of some great companies of great renown. You see over here all our collaborators. You see those for precious metals, gold and silver. Over here, IB at Iron FX. That's HFUK Ltd, a brokerage firm from London. And also over here, a consulting company for all type of businesses, especially in energy and businesses in Africa, between Switzerland and Africa. Okay, so for those you guys who wish to understand more about the stock market and other services, you have a number over here. That's my office number, but it's better to contact me directly here on WhatsApp or Viber or Facebook Messenger, or here by sending me a message here at the message section, and so I can give you more information about the services. I have consulting services, a lot of services over here. So when you click over here at the PayPal shop, you're gonna see exactly all of the services I am offering over here. You have wealth management solutions over here for 1 month, an annual, or whatever you want. You have asset management solutions, you see over here, with all the pricing. We have corporate strategy solutions for corporations and institutions. We have an invest assets also. That's another part of the corporate strategy. And over here we have an invest by sectors. That's a analysis and deep research that we do. And also we have a precious metal services over here. We have all of the precious metal packages, you see, for every amount. And also I have the Skype consulting. We have a 1 hour consulting, 2 hours consulting, and a more in depth 5 hours of consulting. So you click and send me a message, and we can do a consulting and see exactly how can we help you. Okay, so no problem, whenever you are in the world, we can connect. We have the internet, and so don't hesitate, contact me, and I would be very pleased and enjoy to give you a hand and see how can I help you with my services. Okay, so that's it for today. Thanks one more time. Have a great week, have a great trading week, and I'll see you next week. Thanks everybody. Bye bye.